Time to preview the games on what will be a Super Sunday in the Indian Premier League. It's the North Indian Derby that starts off as the early kickoff. Mohali hosts its second game of this year's tournament. Kings 11 Punjab, firecracker of a chase that was attempted against Hyderabad a couple of days ago, but they fell 26 short. Delhi, who also suffered a defeat at the hands of Kolkata, make the trip. And it's an important game for both teams. They need wins. Ajit Agarkar and Brad Hogg will look ahead to that game with me in just a minute. Before that, let's set it up. Match day, match point number 1. And the question is, who will be the heir to Zahir Khan's captaincy should the 38-year-old Delhi captain not make it for this game? We believe that there's a very good chance that Zahir Khan will not play. He already went off the field in the last game, and it's been 7 games already for Zach. I don't know too many options that we could go to in that team. Angelo Matthews, who can't get a game in the 11, is an international captain. I don't know what you make of Chris Morris, the captain, Karun Nair, Ajit Agarkar, all the best helping Delhi find out who in 45 seconds could be an option if Zahir doesn't lead.
Well, Karun Nair led for the brief period that he was off the field, but I don't know whether with his form, he's probably the guy to give him extra responsibility. He can't buy a run at the moment, Karun Nair. So, Matthews seems the obvious option, but they wanted to play 3 seamers last game. But they might have to bring Matthews back in just for his experience, and it's a tough one. Shami would automatically come in if Zahir doesn't play. They don't have. That's the other problem. I mean, they've had the problem since the start of the season, and they were desperate to have Zahir Khan play for them this season because of the leadership. And it's very rare in IPL that you don't have a ready-made captain to stand in for. But it's got to be either Karun Nair or Matthews. It's a tough one. If the combination is the same, then Karun Nair might lead.
I don't know how important a captain is in a one-off T20 game, whether you could still manage maybe as a non-playing captain like the Davis Cup from the dugout, get Rahul Dravid to captain from there. But your thoughts, Hoggy? What do a team like Delhi do? Should they just say, all right, it's one game, we'll manage, and there could be a couple of guys taking it? Or would you look at somebody and say, yep, it's a big game, we need you to captain? Your thoughts?
For me, we don't know how long Zahir's going to be out. You know, we all say that it might be 1 game, it might be 2, might be 3, but for me, you can't bring Matthews in. There's no way that you can bring Matthews in. They've got the 3 quicks up front. They might have to bring Billings in to strengthen the batting. For me, I reckon it would be a good choice to go for Nair. One, it will just teach him to plan what the game's ahead, and it might help his batting as well. He might realise that he's got to be a little bit more destructive with his batting. Get on with the game out the top. And if you look at the last game that Delhi played, the openers got away to a great start, but between overs 5 and 10, that's where they lost the game. Yes. They slowed down. So, Nair being captain, he might be able to help that younger group because he's the leader of the batters there.
Well, it's amazing. Player that isn't in the best of form, and now we're talking about him as captain.
You don't have too many options, do you? I mean, out of the other Indian guys, he's probably the senior most guy, or he's been around for a little longer than the others. So.
Yeah, shame that they don't even have JP Dumini in this squad, who has captained in the past. But yes, slim pickings for Delhi. They've known to do unconventional things. Let's see what Rahul Dravid and Paddy Upton decide in case Zahir Khan doesn't make it onto the field for this game against Punjab. Let's move to match day, match point number 2, and the conversation is surrounding Punjab. We spoke to it at depth with. Sorry for the pun, but yeah, it is the death bowling, and we've spoken about their woes at the to death with Sanjay Vangar earlier on the show. If we just look at the numbers towards the end, gents, the worst death bowling, Punjab takes the honours, 11.43 at as the economy rate, and an average of 40.66, just the 9 wickets. Pune not too far behind. I'm actually a bit surprised to see Kolkata and Hyderabad in the worst death bowling, but well, let's focus on Punjab and Pune, who have a serious problem. At least wickets fall for those 2 teams lower down. Let me start with you again, Ajit. The personnel changes, or they only have that one overseas player, Matt Henry, who they're guarding and keeping. How do they fix this problem? 45 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, because of the poor results, they've tried to look at maybe just go batting heavy and play all overseas batters. I don't think that's the way to go. Yes, if you had a decent enough Indian bowling lineup, you could still afford to do that and put all your hopes on your overseas batters. They've got to get Matt Henry in, as simple as that. I'm not saying he's got a magic wand and automatically all their problems will go away, but you need that one guy who will spearhead, who will do the dirty job day in, day out, and they don't have anyone with quality. I mean, Ishant Sharma has clearly been very disappointing in spite of all the experience, and Mohit Sharma has not had a great IPL either, who bowls quite well at the death usually. they need to find answers, but one of the answers is definitely an overseas quick.
Okay, perfectly in time with his 45 seconds. Brad Hogg, before I come to you, look at Ishant Sharma's numbers over the last 3 years. It's not an average a fast bowler would want. He only manages the 4 games in both 2015 and 2016. And 2017, he's not even taken a wicket, which is why that average remains blank. The problem is the way Punjab have gone about it, Hoggy. They drop between Sandeep Sharma, Ishant Sharma, Mohit Sharma, between the Indian streamers and maybe now Anurit Singh, they're just picking and choosing more of the same stuff. Can we go hard at the management at not identifying a very serious problem as a key phase of the IPL comes upon them?
Yeah, well, the key phase is their bowling, and I think also on top of this, just quickly get away from their bowling. Their fielding's also let them down. There's been drop catches, and if you look at the last game, there was 42 dot balls when they batted, but 22 when they bowled. So and there were a lot of twos, 16 twos to 3 twos throughout that fielding. So their fielding didn't help them as well. But if you look at Ishant Sharma, he's great up the top. You've got to try and get his overs out, but then it just leaves you out that the death. They just don't have any options. They don't. And the last game, it was their part-time spinner, Glenn Maxwell, who bowled in the 17th over and went for 5. Now, if he's going to be your best option, that's not going to happen every day with a spinner. So they really have to probably go for their overseas fast bowler.
Slim pickings.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't pick a seamer in the auction, that's what you end up with. I mean, your batting's not going to win you all the games.
Well, when you pay so much for your top batsman and you rely on that, you think that your seamers are going to do the job. That's the way they go. So they know that they've got to make big scores to win.
Well, Virender Sehwag, you need to make those changes, or whoever it is that calls the shots at Punjab. Maybe Ajit Agarkar will help you now, because it's time to pick the 2 11s for Delhi and Punjab, and we're going to give Ajit Agarkar the hard task, or it almost actually seems an easy task to make that change, because everyone seems to see the obvious problem with Punjab's 11 except Punjab themselves. Ajit Agarkar certainly doesn't make the same mistake. He puts Matt Henry into that team straight away at the expense of Owen Morgan, who struggled in that game against Hyderabad. Sandeep Sharma also comes straight back into the team. Out goes Ishant Sharma. You've gone for the wrist spin of Rahul Tewatia Ajit ahead of mystery spinner that is Karyappa. And you've also got Gurkirat Singh Mann instead of Anurit Singh. So lots of changes for you. Martin Guptill still up top, presuming Hashim Amla is injured and unavailable. Just 45 seconds for you to take me through your team.
No, they've run out of options now. I think, they might still be stubborn and still go with 4 overseas batters. It's not working. So at least give your overseas quick an opportunity, a couple of games at least, to see if it's working. Tewatia at least gives you a wrist spinning option. There are 7 options that they have bowling wise. Because their bowling's their weaker suit, you need options, because some guys, anyway, bowlers have a bad day in T20 cricket, so you need some. Maxwell had a really good day the other night, so they need those guys. Their batting needs to obviously do better. Some of the top batters, Sean Marsh showed the way. Some of the other guys need to step up, and maybe they need to do it together instead of one guy doing it every game. But bowling, they have to get the overseas quick in.
And that is your sound, that's your call to bring your squad together. You need to change Punjab, please.
And maybe bat Riddhiman Saha
higher,
a bit higher.
We spoke about that with
out.
Ajit and Sanjay too. Right. Punjab, good luck. Let's move to Delhi and see what Brad Hogg has gone for. That's the team. There was a team that lost to Kolkata a couple of nights back, and you've gone with the same 4 overseas players, Brad Hogg. So let me just see if you've made too many changes. Ankit Bhavane played that game a little lower down the order. Karun Nair chose to open, and you've brought in Shahbaz Nadeem for Zahir Khan. That's the interesting one. So you think there's enough pace on that side. 45 seconds for you to take me through your team, Brad Hogg.
Yeah, well, Nadeem's probably been the most economical bowler for the Delhi Daredevils, so I've brought him in to replace Zahir Khan just for this game. I think they really do rely heavily on those 3 overseas quicks, and you can have Anderson bowling a little bit of part-time medium pace. But the thing with this batting order, I'd like to bring Billings in, but they just don't have enough depth in their pace. I'd like to bring Shami in, maybe for an overseas, but when you take out the experience of Zahir Khan, Shami's only had a couple of games. I just think that would be too big a move, too big a change. The top order of Delhi Daredevils, they get off to a good start, but don't slow down when you get out of that power play. You've got to find more boundaries in those next 5 overs. Don't leave it till the end for the likes of Morris and Anderson. You
didn't leave it to the end either. Well done, Brad Hogg, Ajit Agarkar, within your times. Now we have to wait and see if it makes a difference when the 2 teams take the field on Sunday. It's the 4 p.m. fixture at Mohali. Well, let's move on to match number 37 now, and that is Sunrisers Hyderabad, who return, and they'd be happy that they do, to the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium at home. After 11 days, they're playing a home game. Kolkata are in a bit of a red-hot patch in the IPL. They sit pretty at the top of the table. So let's move straight to match day, match point number 1, and we're going to be discussing the number 3 batsman for both sides. We start with Kolkata and Robin Uthappa, who was instrumental in Kolkata's win the other night against Delhi at the Eden Gardens. Now he's stepping on the gas. He's been given a different sort of role with Sunil Narine and before him Chris Lynn being pushed to the top. Let's look at Uthappa's numbers, gents. And we've got a strike rate of 130 and 136 in the last 2 seasons of the IPL. This year 168, average of 41 too. So he's clearly upped it big time. Let's get Radha, who played in those years with Robin Uthappa, to get a comment on new sort of role. Comes in at 3. And we're probably seeing the best of Robin Uthappa. 45 seconds for you to sum up how he's gone, Hoggy.
Well, I think number 3 is the perfect place for him. Out number 1, he got tied down a bit. He couldn't rotate the strike. This year, he's the 3rd best rotator of the strike. That means the least number of dot balls. I think he's got a 31% dot ball count. The only player, or the best player, is Rayner. But he also, with rotating the strike, he's been able to utilise the pace of the fast bowling. That's where he gets majority of sixes off the pace over square leg. And when spin comes on, you find him to hit those boundaries straight, either over mid-on or mid-off. So he's been able to rotate the strike, find the boundaries, be a little bit more aggressive down that bottom order. And reason being, the field's out, so he can get off strike. And then he was very good out opening batting to hit the boundaries, but he couldn't rotate the strike. So that's his improvement.
Well done. 5 seconds, but I'll give you that. You had all those numbers for us and those wonderful stats. Ajit Agarkar, Uthappa, and this new sort of role he's got. It's amazing that not just Narayan at number 1 has worked for them, but that Uthappa being pushed down seems to have got the best out of it. What do you attribute that to? 45 seconds.
Well, I think that strike rate's helped a little bit by those last 2 innings where he's absolutely gone mad in both the games. Yeah. Played really against a good attack, Delhi. I mean, he got a couple of chances in both the games,
yes.
But he didn't change his approach towards batting after he was let off. He's still and he is a powerful hitter. Usually picks length really well, plays a lot through the leg side, and just one of those guys in IPL who comes into his own the more he sort of stays in the middle, and is very capable of hitting sixes. What's changed? Maybe he's not happy that Sunil Narine keeps opening. That could be the reason, and that could be a master stroke from Gambhir. But whatever it is, he's hitting form at the right time for KKR.
That's all that matters for the team that's doing well. Their number 3 has been instrumental. So has the number 3 of the Sunrisers Hyderabad, and he takes us to our next match day, match point. Kane Williamson. There was a lot of calling for Kane Williamson to play from the beginning. We spent almost an entire season asking why Kane Williamson doesn't make a place in the 11 of the Sunrisers team. Let's have a look at how Williamson's gone about since he's been given the opportunity. Against Delhi, 89 runs at a strike rate of 174. Against Pune, quick fire 21, and against Punjab, 54 in 27 balls. So that propelled them to a score of over 200. Hoggy, what we're seeing there is a batsman who may not be, T20 may not be his first format or his favourite format, but even if he's not there for too long, he doesn't waste as much time. Williamson, just your thoughts on how good he's been at number 3 for Sunrisers. 45 seconds.
Well, it doesn't matter how experienced you are in cricket. We all know him as a test cricketer, fantastic test cricketer, brilliant one-day cricketer, and now he's really turning it on with the T20 stuff. And that just tells me that he is prepared to work on his game. He knows where his flaws are, and that wasn't getting the boundaries in earlier years. And this year we've seen him find those boundaries. But with Kolkata, Williamson likes to be one of those that works the 1s and 2s into the gap. For me, when Williamson comes out, you've got to really try and bowl tight. Probably have a risk, bring one more of those deep fielders in and make him try and hit the boundaries a little earlier than later. Don't let him get settled. Make him try and make the play from ball 1, and hopefully you can get him out early.
Perfect. Just like Williamson's timing. Let's move to Ajit Agarkar on Kane Williamson. He's answered a few questions for Sunrisers who've been questioning Shikhar Dhawan strike rate at the top and then moving Moses Hendricks because they left out Ben Cutting. So this new balance of the team, could have all gone wrong with Williamson coming in. The fact that he's come in and actually got it spot on from the beginning, that seems to have solved a lot of problems for Sunrisers. Your thoughts on it? 45 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise. He's a class player. I mean, he's a world-class player. He's, they persisted with cutting and Enriques because they've had success with that formula. But they had, to leave guys like Williamson and Mustafizur out for too long, Mustafizur is made for this format, but Williamson, what he's done really well is taken so much pressure off Warner and Shikhar Dhawan. Both batted a lot freer. Yes, wasn't the greatest of bowling attack at Punjab, but they looked a little bit freer when you have that solidity at number 3 and you know that the consistency is going to be there. That's probably what he's brought to their team, because he's given stability in that middle order, and maybe you'll see a different or a lot more relaxed David Warner, because he looked a little bit laboured in this tournament. Might just help him, and that's how good Williamson is.
Well, let's see if that makes a difference in this game against Kolkata. Now let's move to the playing 11s. The playing 11s for both teams. Hyderabad against Kolkata at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. We are starting with Brad Hogg's 11. Does he make any changes to a team that won against Punjab at Mohali a couple of days back? No, he doesn't. I'm just running through that team. In fact, it's Ajit Agarkar's 11, beg your pardon. So you don't make any changes.
You need your specs too?
No, I'm good. Thank you very much. So you still don't find a place for Mustafizur Rahman, shocking as it may be. Maybe you can take me through Moses Enriques in that side. All your thoughts in 45 seconds, Ajit.
Yeah, I want to try and find a place for Mustafizur. I can't believe, even if he's not available for the entire tournament, that he doesn't find a place. Enriques, I think, gives them a little bit of both batting and bowling, but I think his bowling was very, very average in that game against Kings 11. I think he'll have to do a bit better. But they're batting, the other batters. I mean, Yuvi's lost a little bit of steam as this tournament's gone. Huda's not done enough. So you'd rather have that cushion of Enriques than have another bowler, because rest of the bowling attack is pretty balanced. They're not one of those teams who requires that extra bowler. So, when it's not broke, why try and fix it? I think Williamson coming and the way Shikhar and Warner batted in the last game are really good signs for them.
Well, good luck. It's a strong Kolkata team that they come up against, so maybe this is the best team to go for now. Let's see what Brad Hogg has gone for his Kolkata team. I'm sure it's Brad Hogg this time. Yes, it is. Sunil Narayan stays at the top. Sheldon Jackson ahead of Surya Kumar Yadav. And you've gone a toss-up between either Colin de Grandin or Shakib Al Hassan. Chris Wokes and Nathan Coulton. I'll comprise of your pace attack along with Umesh Yadav. Help take me through that one. De Grandin and Shakib, what are your thoughts behind that, Hoggy? 45 seconds to you.
Oh, it's just an extra bowling option, really. It depends on the type of wicket that is going to be there at Sunrisers. I think de Grandin might play in front of Shakib just for that extra medium pace and the power hitting as well. Shakib can be a power hitter, but the word on the street is de Grandin is a big hitter and can have a fairly heavy high strike rate. So they probably need to really cover for the loss of Andre Russell from the past year or two. The other one, Sheldon Jackson. Now this is a big one here. I'm really pleased that he's got an opportunity, because he's been busting his backside down our Kolkata over the last 2 years, waiting for an opportunity. He got the opportunity, and I think he was 12 not out the other day. Let's see and hope that he can get another couple of games.
Okay, thank you very much, Brad Hogg and Ajit Agarkar. Now you can get their thoughts as well as the rest of our panel on ESPNcricinfo Matchday T20 if you tune in to our live show 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time on the site as well as on our Facebook page. Stay with us on our Facebook page through the course of the tournament, including and most especially mid-innings of the 8 p.m. game for your comments and thoughts, especially for our panel. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel. It's a cracking Super Sunday. Let's hope we get some good cricket in the IPL. We hope to have your company for the same.